Hello, my name is Bob, and thank you for joining me today for today's All Levels of Vinyasa class. Let's begin class today sitting down in the middle of our mat in a seated meditation. Cross your legs can be straight. However is comfortable for you today, just to find a place of stillness where you can bring all of your awareness into this present moment. Notice the places of attachment where your body is touching your mat. Notice where your hands are placed. Notice any sounds you might be hearing in the background. It's okay to acknowledge what you're seeing and feeling and hearing. Take note, be the observer, and then let them go. Bring your awareness just to this very moment. You take stock of how you're feeling with a quick body scan from head through your shoulders, through your chest and your hips, down to your legs. Notice not only how you're feeling physically today, but also how you're feeling emotionally and spiritually. We come to our yoga mat often to take stock, to be present, to gain some insight, and taking this moment for ourselves. If your mind begins to wander, come back to your breath. Come back to feeling what you're feeling at this moment. Experiencing what you're experiencing at this moment. And the breath is always the anchor. The anchor, it's always there with you. Take a big inhale through the nose. Sigh it out through your mouth. Another big inhale through the nose. Sigh it out through your mouth. Feel how the body relaxes and grounds as you exhale. Inhale, you bring the outside world into your body, and exhale through the mouth, you're letting go of that which is no longer serving you. Now seal your lips. Breathe in simply through the nose and through the rest of the class if you're able. If you lose your breath during the class, you can always come to a resting position, sitting or child's pose. From a seated position, let's go ahead and lie down onto the mat. Feel allowing your points of contact with the mat, all the way from your heels, back of the legs, your backside, the back of the head. Extend your arms out to the side. Inhale them arm overhead. Take a big body stretch. Exhale, sweep your arms back out to the side like the letter T. Inhale your arms overhead, reach for the ceiling. Exhale, grab opposite shoulders. Give yourself a hug. Rock side to side. Feel how the shoulders have moved. Inhale, arms come overhead. Stretch the toes again long. Exhale, arms out to the side. Inhale, arms come up overhead. Exhale, grab opposite shoulders. If you remember which arm was on top, let's switch which arm is on top. Rock side to side, rolling out the back side of the body. Inhale, one more time. Arms up overhead, feet, toes stretched long. Exhale, arms out to the side. Give the ceiling a hug. Inhale, reach up for the ceiling. And again, grab your shoulders. Rock side to side. Inhale, stretch your arms long. Exhale, bring your knees into your chest. Arms come across the shins. Pull your shoulders off the mat, curl up into a little ball. Hold on to the right knee. Let the left leg extend long. Go ahead, let your shoulders come down to the mat. Extend your left leg, but let it float in the air so the heel is about an inch or so off the mat. Inhale, bring the knee, the right knee, into the chest as much as you can. Exhale, push the left knee towards the wall in front of you. Inhale, pull the knee in. Exhale, energetically push the left heel. This is an isometric movement. Energetically, you're feeling the knee come in as you inhale, and you're pushing the heel as you exhale. Go ahead, let that left heel drop to the ground. Inhale, pull the right knee in. Exhale, push the left knee into the floor, forward and down at the same time. Inhale, knee comes in. Exhale, push the left heel forward and down. Keep breathing. Keep pulling the knee in, pushing the left knee out. And now with both hands, begin to circle the right knee. Drawing circles in the air with your right kneecap. You go 3 or 4 circles, one direction, and then go ahead and circle the other way. And then place the right foot inside the left thigh and just let that knee open up to the side. Back to stillness. Flex the left foot so that left foot stays active, opening up the right hip joint. Bring the right knee back up. Left knee comes in to join. Curl up into a little ball for a moment. And we do all that on the other side. Hold on to the left knee. Extend the right leg long, heel floating off the mat. Inch or so. Inhale, pull the left knee in. Exhale, push the right heel towards the wall in front of you. Inhale, knee in. Exhale, heel forward. One more time. And now let the right heel fall to the floor. Inhale, pull that left knee. Notice a little more space now that you have that heel down on the floor. Inhale, knee in. Exhale, the right heel pushes down and forward, extending that right leg. As you're pulling the left knee in, you're extending the right leg. Isometric movement. The breath is still the guide. The breath and the movements, even though there's not much movement, the isometric hold, you can still feel the energy move. As you inhale the knee in towards you, you exhale, you push the heel away from you. A few more rounds here. Inhale, pushing, pulling in. Exhale, pushing that heel forward and down. Now with both hands, draw some circles again with the left kneecap. And change directions. Drop the left knee out to the side. The left foot finds the inside of the right thigh. And simply opening that left hip up. Right foot is still active, flexing that foot. Bring both knees into your chest. Cross the ankles. Rock and roll. And come into a seat. Sitting on your mat. Back where we started. Just going to take some head circles. Simply rolling the neck. Pulling the head. First counterclockwise or clockwise, your choice. And then take your circles the other way. Slowly and methodically, just paying attention to the sounds. You might be hearing some snapping and cracking, popping from the neck. Doing this with intention, doing this with presence. All the movements tied to the breath. Now some shoulder shrugs. Inhale, shoulders come up. Exhale, they come down. Inhale, shoulders come up. Exhale, they come down. You can turn this into circles as well. And if you're doing circles, take them the other direction. And shoulders come down out of your ears. Deep nose breathing. Again, staying with your presence, staying with the awareness of this present moment. Then we'll roll forward onto the knees, onto our mat for some tabletop position. Fingers spread nice and wide. Arms are straight, shoulders directly over the wrists, hips over the knees. Begin to wiggle the hips in a circle. You can go both directions. And you just do what feels good. You might want to come forward and back. Back to a neutral spine. We'll do some cat and cows. Take an inhale in a neutral spine. Exhale, cat. Your belly comes up to meet your spine. Your spine curves up towards the ceiling. Your sternum comes down towards the mat. Arching up like a cat. Inhale, cow. Sternum comes forward. Head looks up. Back, your belly button coming down towards the mat. Cat is your exhale. Cow is your inhale. Just working the mid part of the spine. It's a little variation to cat and cow. You can walk your hands so your right hand is off the side of your mat. Your left hand is to the edge. Your hips are still facing forward. Just adding a little bit of an angle to your cat and your cow. And then from here, you can take your right hand, thread it under for a thread the needle with a little bit of an angle to the body relative to the front edge of the mat. It's a little different variation. See how this feels for you. If this doesn't feel good, you can just come back to the front of the mat and do a traditional forward-facing thread the needle. Place the left hand on the mat and the right hand. And if you'd like the angle, we'll do it on the other side. The left hand comes off the mat, right hand comes near the left edge, and take your cat and cows in this angle. And then thread the left arm under for a thread the needle. Come back up, tabletop. And we'll curl our toes under, lift the hips, and come into our first downward facing dog of the class. Fingers spread nice and wide, arms are straight. It's an active pose. Feel the back lines of the legs firing up. As you inhale, lift the hips higher. Exhale, try to bring the ribs closer to the thighs. You pedal out your dog by lifting the heels, left heel, right heel. Gaze is back between your legs, or even up towards your belly button. Inhale, look up at the top of the mat. Walk your feet between your hands. Inhale to a flat back, gaze is forward. Exhale, forward fold. Grab opposite elbows and just sway side to side in a ragdoll. Let the fold come from the hip crease. Instead of working the back, you fold from the hips, be able to reach a little bit lower, just letting gravity do the work, stretching out the low back. Plant the left hand into the mat. Bend your knee as much as you need to. You really want to push into the mat. Inhale, fly the right arm high. Rotate the wrist. Open and close the fingers. Exhale, change. Right hand comes down, push into the mat and bend your knee as much as you need. Inhale, fly the left hand up. Exhale, both hands come down. Inhale to a half lift. Your back is flat, your gaze is forward. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, rise all the way up to stand. Arms up overhead. Mountain pose. Exhale, hands to hearts, hands to your side, Samasthiti. In standing poses, feel how your feet are rooting down into the mat. Feel how the big toe is pushing into the mat. Little toe, the heel, firmly rooting down. Feel the weight pushing into the mat, and your body supported by the earth. Inhale, arms come up overhead. Grab your left wrist. Go take a side bend over to the right. Inhale, rise back up. Switch your grip. Take a side bend over to the left. Inhale, rise up. Exhale, take an open arm twist to the right. Look back at your right hand. Inhale, rise back up. Look up. Exhale, open arm twist to the left. Inhale, arms come up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, plant your hands. Step your feet back in high plank. Take a breath in. Exhale, come all the way down. Untuck the toes. Inhale, lift your head and shoulder. Baby cobra or upward facing dog. Exhale, come all the way back down. Inhale the tabletop. Exhale, curl your toes, lift your hips, downward facing dog. So that transition, that vinyasa transition, we come all the way down and baby cobra, then to tabletop, is a variation you can do if your practice is strong enough and you can do a full push-up, chaturanga push-up from your toes. Go ahead and do that. So downward facing dog. Take 3 strong breaths here. Inhale, look up at the top of the mat. Exhale, walk or float to the top of the mat. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, rise all the way up. Mountain pose. And take the side bends again. Grab the left wrist. Turn over to the right. Inhale, rise up. Exhale, bend to the left. Inhale, reach back up. Exhale, an open arm twist to the right. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, open arm twist to the left. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, take a back bend. Elbow, cactus the elbows, lean back. Reach back, grab opposite hands. Pull down a little further into your back bend. Exhale, fold forward, still with the bind. And when you fully released all the air, let your hands fall to the mat. Inhale to a flat back. Exhale, plant your hands. Feet step back. Inhale in high plank. Exhale, high to low push-up. Inhale, upward facing dog or baby cobra. Exhale, curl your toes, lift your hips. Downward facing dog. 3 strong breaths here in down dog. Feel the heat is building. After your 3rd breath, look at the top of the mat. Exhale, walk your feet between your hands. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, rise all the way up to mountain pose. And we'll take those side bends. Grab your left wrist. Come over to the right. Inhale, switch your grip. Bend over to the left. Inhale, reach back up. Exhale, let all that air out as you take that open arm twist. Look back at the right hand. Take big inhales. You reach your arms back up towards the ceiling. Exhale, use the full exhale. Take your open arm twist to the left. Inhale, reach back up, mountain pose. Exhale, take your back bend. Bend those elbows. Place your hands behind your back. Pull down. Exhale, dive forward, keeping that bind. And you fully exhaled all that air. Let your hands fall to the mat. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, hands to the mat. Feet step back and take your vinyasa. Find yourself back in downward facing dog. Stay with your breath. I'm feeling warmth now. Or heels might be melting down even closer to the mat. Inhale, look at the top of the mat. Exhale, step your feet close to your hands. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, forward fold. Widen out your feet about hip distance apart. And with your first two fingers, your peace fingers, grab hold of your big toe. Thumb circles around, touching those two fingers that are around the big toe. Inhale, flatten the back, straighten your arms. Exhale, bend the elbows and fold, bringing your crown of your head down towards the mat. Strength of the arms, pulling yourself down, pulling the head straight down towards the mat. Your gaze is between your legs, looking backwards. Inhale, flatten the back, straighten the arms, rock your weight onto your heels so you can slide your hands under your feet, palms facing up, toes coming up towards your hip crease. Inhale, straighten the arms, flatten the back as much as you can. Exhale, fold. Elbows splaying out to the side. Pushing your feet firmly into your hands. You might rock a little bit forward. Might feel your heels just getting a little bit lighter. Inhale, straighten the arms. Exhale, release the grip. Hands come to hips. Inhale, rise up. Feet come together. Hands to heart center. Move on to our next warm-up, our sun salutation, letter B. Utkatasana, chair pose. Bend your knees. Lower your hips. Inhale, your arms come up overhead. Feet are together. Knees are together. Hips are low. Everything from the hip down is coming down towards the earth, grounding in. Everything from the hips up are reaching up towards the sky. It's a pose of oppositions. Exhale, bring your hands to heart center. Take an inhale to prepare for a prayer twist. Exhale, hook your left elbow across your right thigh. Inhale, back center. Exhale, hook your left elbow across your right thigh. Inhale, back center. Stand up nice and tall. Come up off your heels. Reach up towards the sky. Exhale, heels down, hands to heart center. Step your left foot to the back of the mat. Big bend in the right knee. Back heel is lifted. Push the back heel towards the back wall, which will straighten that left leg. Inhale, arms come up, high crescent lunge. Exhale, sweep your arms behind you, lean forward like you're trying to get your nose over the finish line. Inhale, reach the arms forward. Long line of energy from that back heel all the way through those fingertips, reaching up towards the wall in front of you. Exhale, spin your heel down. Reach your right arm forward, left arm back, warrior B. Inhale, straighten the front leg, reach the right arm up and back, reverse triangle. Exhale, interlace your hands behind your back, rebend that front knee, bow forward, bring the right shoulder inside the right knee, humble warrior. Inhale, rise up, face the long edge of your mat, star pose. Pigeon toe your feet just a little bit as we prepare for a forward fold. Widen out your stance. Exhale, bring your hands onto the mat just below your face. Inhale, flatten your back, straighten up. Exhale, fold forward. Hold for a few breaths. Inhale, flatten your back, straighten your arms. Exhale, hands to hips. Inhale, rise up. Now turn your feet, heels in, toes out. Exhale, come into a horse pose. Shimmy the hips side to side, warm those up. Bring your hands behind your head. Take an inhale. Exhale, dip towards your left elbow towards your left knee. That's the back of the mat. Inhale, back center. Exhale, take a side crunch towards the front, the right side. And let's take 2 more each side. Exhales drip you down. Inhales bring you up. You're using the breath as the engine, as the motor to propel your body. After your third dip towards the front, straighten up, shorten your stance. Bring elbows, hands behind your back, grabbing opposite elbows, straight legs. Inhale, straighten the spine, reach up nice and tall, preparing to bow forward into pyramid pose. Good hamstring stretch here, the back lines of both legs. Trying to bring your nose down towards your knee, looking down at the foot. Exhale, release your hands to frame your right foot. As you push into the mat, feel the protraction in the shoulder blades. Inhale, rise up. Bring all your weight into your right leg. Your left leg becomes very light, begins to float up, comes into your chest. Just like we did at the start of class, bring that knee into the chest as much as you can. Balancing on the right foot, feeling the right foot rooting down firmly into the mat. This is your inhale as you bring your knee in. And exhale, take a figure four squat. Guide your left shin over your right thigh and bend your right knee. And sit down into your half chair. Inhale, both feet come down, arms come up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, take your Vinyasa. Feet step back. Take a breath in high plank. Exhale, bend your elbows. Inhale, upward facing dog or baby cobra. Exhale, curl your toes, lift your hips. Downward facing dog. 3 strong breaths there. More heat rising in the body. The second sun salutation is a full body warm up. Feeling in the hips, in the arms. Inhale, look at the top of the mat. Exhale, walk or float your feet between your hands. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, back to chair pose. Leading now on the left. Exhale, hands to heart center. Inhale to prepare. Exhale, we'll take our prayer twist to the left first. Right elbow comes across left thigh. Inhale, back center. Exhale, hook across the right thigh. Inhale, back center. Stand up nice and tall. Come up off your heels, bouncing on your toes. Exhale, heels down, hands to heart center. Now we step the right foot back. Heel stays lifted, big bend in the left knee. Inhale, arms come up, high crescent lunge. Exhale, sweep your arms behind you. Lean forward, pushing that heel towards the back wall. Inhale, reach forward. Exhale, spin your back heel down. Still got a big bend in the left knee. Left arm forward, right arm back. Strong warrior B pose. Inhale, reverse triangle. Straighten the left leg. Left arm comes up. Right arm drips down your right leg. Exhale, rebend that front knee. Interlace your hands. Bow forward. Left shoulder comes inside the left knee. Humble warrior. Inhale, rise up. Star pose. Pigeon toe your heels. Your heels out, toes in. Exhale, forward fold. Hands come onto the mat. Inhale, straighten the back. Flatten your back. Straighten your arms. Exhale, fold forward. Fingers facing forward. Bend the elbows. And let your head come down towards the mat. Inhale, flatten the back, straighten the arms. Exhale, hands to hips. Inhale, rise all the way up. Now we change heels in, toes out. Bend the knees. Come into horse pose. Interlace your hands behind your head. Take a big breath in. We'll take 3 of those side crunches. First by going to the back of the mat. Inhale, back center. Exhale to the front of the mat. Inhale, back center. Exhale the back of the mat. Inhale, center. Exhale to the front of the mat. 1 more each way. Exhale, step you down. Inhales, rise you up. Exhale, dips you down. Back to center. Rise up. Star pose. Turn towards the front of the mat. Shorten your stance. Hands come behind your back. Grabbing opposite elbows. Straighten your legs. As you inhale, lengthen the spine. Exhale, bow forward over that straight left leg. Looking down at the foot. Chin to shin. And then we'll extend this by bringing both hands onto the mat, protracting the shoulders. If this modification doesn't work, you have your just hands come down onto the feet. Inhale, rise up, root firmly into that left leg. The right leg becomes very light and it floats. And with here, you can, by bouncing onto the left leg, you don't need to bring the knee all the way up. It's important as you're bearing weight into that left leg. So the right toe can be down as a toe stand, or you can just bring it to here, or the knee can be at 90 degrees, or you can come into full wind releasing pose, bringing the knee up firmly into the chest. Big inhale, and your exhale brings you to figure four, guiding the right shin across the left thigh, bending the left knee, and sitting down in your half chair. Inhale, mountain pose. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, flatten your back. Exhale, hands come down, feet step back. Inhale in high plank. Exhale down. Take your height a little push-up. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Take 3 strong breaths here in down dog. Notice the heat building, the energy flowing through the body as you're warming up the body. Let's do that again, one more time, both sides. Inhale, look up at the top of the mat. Exhale, walk your feet between your hands. Inhale to a half lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, chair pose. Knees are bent, hips are low, arms are nice and high. Exhale, hands to heart center to prepare. Take an inhale. And exhale, take a prayer twist towards the right, hooking the left elbow across the right thigh. Inhale, back to center. Exhale, take your prayer twist to the left, hooking the right elbow across the left thigh. Inhale, rise up, mountain pose on your toes, lifting those heels, arms up nice and high. Exhale, heels down, hands to heart center. Left leg steps way to the back of the mat into a high crescent lunge. Heel is lifted. Push that heel towards the back wall to straighten your left leg. Exhale, sweep your arms behind you, lean forward, chest coming close to the thigh. Inhale, swing your arms forward, reaching for the wall in front of you. Exhale, spin your back heel down, right arm forward, left arm back, warrior B. Strong warrior pose. Big bend in that front knee. The back foot fully engaged with the mat. Inhale, straighten that front leg, sweep your right arm up and back, reverse your triangle. Exhale, rebend that front knee, hands come behind your back, bow forward humbly into your humble warrior. Inhale, rise up, face the long edge of the mat, pigeon toe your toes, star pose. Widen your stance as we prepare for forward fold. Exhale, bring both hands onto the mat, just below your face. Inhale, flatten your back, straighten the arms. Again, widen out the stance. Exhale, bow forward. Let your elbows bend towards the back behind you, fingers facing forward. Take a few breaths here as you gaze back behind you. Straighten the legs as much as you can. You might feel like you're tipping forward a little bit. That's why your hands are there to help you with your balance. Inhale, flatten your back, straighten your arms. Exhale, hands to hips. Inhale, rise all the way up. Now change your toes, heels in, toes out, bend the knees, come into a goddess squat, horse pose. Shimmy the hips side to side. Should be nice and warm by now. Interlace your hands behind your back, your head, as we prepare for those side crunches. Inhale in the center position, exhale, dip towards the back of the mat. That's your left. Inhale, back center, exhale, dip towards the front. Inhale to the center. Exhale, dip to the back. Inhale, back center. Exhale, dip towards the front. Inhale, back center. Exhale, last time towards the back. That's your left. Inhale, back center. Exhale, dip towards the right. Inhale, back center. Straighten the arms, come back into star pose. Shorten your stance. Turn towards the front of the mat. Your right foot is forward. Your left foot is at about a 45-degree angle. Hands come behind your back. Straighten your legs. Straighten your spine. Find length. And bow forward into your pyramid pose. Nice and deep. Chin towards your shin. Release the hands to the mat. Push in for that protraction in the shoulders. Inhale, rise up for our two balancing poses. All your weight goes into your right leg. Float the left foot off the mat as much as you're comfortable. Maybe it's just with a toe. Maybe it's coming all the way the knee up into the chest. Hold for a breath here. With a big inhale. And on your exhale, take your figure four squat, guiding the left shin over the right thigh. Sit down nice and low into your half chair. Release, inhale, foot comes down, arms come up overhead. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, half lift, flatten the back. Exhale, hands come down, feet step back, find yourself in high plank. Take an inhale here. Exhale, bend your elbows, take your high to low push-up. Inhale is upward facing dog or baby cobra, some kind of a back bend. Exhale, curl your toes, lift your hips, downward facing dog. One more time through on the left side. Take 3 strong, recovering, rejuvenating breaths. Inhale, look up at the top of the mat. Exhale, walk your feet between your hands. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, back to chair pose. Exhale, hands to heart center. Take a breath in, and we're going to go towards the left first. Right elbow across the left thigh. Inhale, back center. Exhale, hook your elbow and turn towards the right. Inhale, back center. Stand up, nice and tall, off your heels, bouncing on the toes. Heels down, hands to heart center. Right foot steps back. Inhale, high crescent lunge. Exhale, sweep your arms behind you. Inhale, sweep towards the wall in front of you. Exhale, warrior B. Inhale, reverse your triangle. Exhale, unless your hands bow forward. Humble warrior. Inhale, rise up. Star pose. Pigeon toes your feet, toes in, heels out. Exhale, forward fold. Flatten your back to prepare. Exhale, take your wide leg forward fold. Inhale, flatten your back, straighten your arms. Exhale, hands to hips. Inhale, rise up. Switch your feet, heels in, toes out. Come into your goddess squat. Shimmy your hips side to side. Release your hands behind your head. Breath in to prepare. Exhale, dip towards the back. Inhale, back center. Exhale, dip towards the front. Inhale, back center. Exhale, dip towards the back. Inhale, towards center. Keep doing these side crunches, these oblique crunches with the breath. After your last dip towards the front, inhale, come back up center. Shorten your stance. Left toes are forward. Right foot is 45 degrees. Grab opposite elbows behind your back. Lengthen with the inhale. Bow forward with the exhale. Release your hands towards the mat. Protract the shoulders. Inhale, rise up. Float your right foot, your knee up towards your chest. And exhale, guide your shin over the thigh for a figure four squat. Inhale, pose, both feet down, arms come up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, take your vinyasa. Your high to low push-up is your exhale. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. A little more work to do here. We'll slow things down. From your down dog, step your right foot forward. Spin your left heel down. Deep bend in the right knee. Reach your arms up. I'll turn the other way. Right foot is forward, left foot is back. Spin your left heel down. Square the hips, square the shoulders, arms come up. This is your warrior A. Hold here for 5 breaths. If you can, bring your palms together. Otherwise, they're at least facing each other. Your gaze is up towards your thumb. Unless it hurts your neck, then you gaze forward. Still looking up at your hands or looking at the wall, not looking down at the mat. Straighten the front leg. Rotate the body. Bend the left knee and come into warrior B, now facing the back of your mat. Warrior A, facing the back of your mat. Deep bend in the left knee this time. You've spun the right heel down. The full edge, back edge of the right foot is pushing down into the mat, into the strong warrior A pose. One more big breath in. Exhale, left arm forward, right arm back. You're now in warrior B, facing the back of the mat. Gaze is strong over that left hand. Strong warrior stance, left knee bent, right leg still rooting down firmly into the mat. Inhale, straighten the left leg, that's your back leg, pivot it to face the long edge of the mat, turn the right leg forward, bend the right knee, come into warrior B, facing the front, strong gaze over the right hand, extending forward. Feel length as the arms extend away from each other. One more big inhale. Exhale, cartwheel both hands to the top of the mat. Step your right foot back. Find yourself in high plank. Take an inhale. Exhale, high to low push-up. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, curl your toes, lift your hips. Downward facing dog. Look at the top of the mat. Hop your feet and have a seat. Moving on to our seated sequence. Extend your legs nice and long. Flex your toes so they're pointed towards your forehead. You feel engagement in the ankles and the calves and the thighs. Place your hands on either side of your hips, not forward, not too far back. Push down into the mat, not so much that you lift up, but you feel the arms are pushing down into the mat. The legs are engaged, the torso is engaged. Take a big breath in and bring your chin in towards your chest. This is Dandasana, staff pose. You can feel the muscular engagement all the way from your ankles, your calves, your thighs, your torso, your arms, your shoulders, even up to your neck. It's a very simple shape of your body into the letter L. With your breathing, you now engaged Jalanhara Bandha in your neck, your energy lock, as well as your Mula Bandha, Uddiyana Bandha, all these muscle engagements and energetic locks, holding the prana into the center part of the body. One more big breath in, exhale, release. Inhale, arms come up overhead. Exhale, reach towards your big toes. With your first 2 fingers, you wrap them around the big toes. Thumb seals the circle on top. Inhale, straighten the arms, flatten the back. Exhale, pull yourself down towards your feet, bending the elbows again out to the side. Your gaze is at your toes or out over the horizon, traditionally. Some people like to look down at their knees. The traditional drishti is out forward. One more big inhale. Exhale, release. Take a big breath in. We'll take our deepest grip this time. If you can, reach behind the feet and hold on to the feet like a mitten. Again, if you're not able to reach the feet, you can hold on to the shins or the ankles, but whatever is your deepest grip, inhale, lengthen, and exhale, fold. Again, the elbows will splay out to the side. It's an active pull of your sternum, of your heart, towards your feet. Your gaze is again at the toes or out over the horizon. The bend is trying to come from the hip crease, not just from the low back, creating some mobility in the hip joint and without putting excess pressure or strain on the low back. The fold is coming from the hip crease. Like if you had a straw, you're bending a straw over itself, you want that upper part of the straw just to go a little bit longer by making that pivot point a little bit lower down on the body, down on the hips. Inhale, rise up. Exhale, plant your hands now behind the hips. We're going to do the counter pose, which is a reverse plank. Inhale, push your hips up to open up the front side of the body. Alternatively, you can flatten the feet and come into a reverse tabletop. All we're doing here is counter posing, opening up the front side of the body after the two forward folds that we just did. And exhale, bring the hips down, straighten the legs. Next stretch we'll do in the seated position is Janu Shirshasana. So we bend the right knee, bend it out to the side, again put the right foot inside the left thigh, like we did when we were lying down at the start of the class. The left foot is active, toes are pointing up towards your forehead. Take a big inhale to lengthen, and exhale, reach for the left foot. The right knee is open, down towards the mat, and you're reaching for that left foot. Maybe it's the ankle, maybe it's only the calf. Left foot is still active, flexing the foot. Gaze as before is at the toes or out over the horizon. Opening up the hip, folding forward. Inhale, rise up, counter pose for this. Take the right hand, place it behind you, pivot onto that right knee, and open up into a modified side plank. A few breaths here. Exhale, bring the hips down, and we'll change sides. Extend the right leg, bend the left knee, bring the left foot on the inside of the right thigh, flex the right foot, pointing at your forehead, sit nice and tall, left knee open to the side. Inhale, exhale, reach for the right foot. Opening up the left hip, strengthening the right leg, active, and breathing. In this part of the class, we hold poses for a few breaths, 4 or 5 breaths, different than the flow where it's one breath, one movement. Each breath is really an invitation to get a little bit deeper. Each breath is an invitation really to get into the pose as if it was a new pose each and every time we take a breath in and a breath out. Inhale, rise up, take the counter pose. Left hand comes behind you, pivot onto that left knee, and take that modified side plank on the left. Exhale, come on down. Extend both legs. Now we'll do 2 twists, 2 seated twists. Bend the right knee, the foot comes right in front of the hip. There's about a fist distance between the foot and the thigh, so it's not tucked in. It's about a fist distance here between the foot and where the thigh is. We're going to lean forward, bring the right shoulder inside the right knee, reach forward with the right hand, come behind the leg, and if you can complete the bind, and fold forward. If the bind is not in your reach, do what you can. Alternatively, with the right hand, you can grab the outside of the left foot and simply twist away from the bent knee. So this works perfectly well. Whatever you can grab, the idea is here to bend away from the left knee. And if you can fold forward a little bit, so much the better. Inhale, rise up, change sides. Bend the left knee, foot stomps into the mat, left shoulder comes inside the left knee, left arm comes around, finds the right hand for the bind, and fold forward. If this doesn't work for you, with that opposite hand, grab the outside of the right foot or somewhere onto the right foot and twist away from the bent knee. Inhale, rise up. And then the setup is the same on the next pose. Right knee is bent, foot stomps into the mat. This time the right hand comes behind you. We're going to twist towards the knee. So it's the opposite pose. Hug the left, with the left arm, you hug the right knee, and twisting and looking over the right shoulder. Left foot is still active. Flex the foot. Make sure the foot is fully engaged still. One more big inhale. Exhale, release. Change sides. Extend the right leg. Bend the left knee. Push that foot firmly into the mat. Left hand comes behind you for leverage. Right arm reaches forward and hugs the right knee. Left knee, sorry. Look over the left shoulder. And release. Bend both knees. Begin to root into your sits bones. Lean back a little. And we're going to do 3 rounds of boat pose. So from here, if you can lift the heels off the mat, arms come forward, and we're balancing on our sits bones. 5 breaths. Extend your legs forward, shoulders hovering off the mat, heels hovering off the mat for a low boat. Inhale, come back to high boat. And 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Low boat. Extend your legs and lean back. Heels are hovering, shoulders are hovering. Inhale, 3rd round of boat. Proud heart, not drooping down, not leaning back too far. Good strong position with the torso and the legs. And go ahead and bring your feet onto the mat. Go ahead, lie down onto the mat. We'll do a few rounds of bridge. So feet are rooted down firmly into the mat, a little more than hip distance apart, so not too close, not too far. But the feet are firmly pushing down into the mat, arms alongside your body. Feel a strong engagement with the feet. Shoulders are pushing down into the mat. And inhale, lift your hips. Again, it's a great counter pose for bridge, for the boat pose that we just did. We'll hold for 5. That's 3. That's 4. And that's 5. Bring your hips down. Re-engage the feet. Inhale, lift your hips. You can interlace your hands under your back, which allows you to push up a little bit higher. Allows you to also open up across the collarbone as you lean back a little more onto the shoulders. Push the hips up as high as you can by pushing the feet. Let both feet firmly into the mat and almost feel like you're pushing your knees forward. Helps elevate the hips into the bridge pose. Exhale, bring your hips down. One more time. Biggest expression yet. Do 3 boats. We'll do 3 bridge. And set it down. Bring your feet together. We'll open up into a supine butterfly. Feet are pushing into each other. The knees are opening up nice and wide. Arms alongside the body. Slow things down here. Still breathing through the nose, slowing down. Just letting gravity do the work here as the muscles will relax. The knees, you'll feel the knees gently opening up as gravity takes hold. Staying present in this moment, being aware of the sensations that you're feeling. The mind begins to wander, come back to the breath. Come back to the sensations that you're feeling. Yoga is first and foremost a breathing practice. We know the breath can be a guide to how we're feeling emotionally. We know when we get upset or hurt or happy or whatever emotion we're feeling, we'll feel that in the breath. It'll become quick, it'll become slow, it'll become more ragged, and that's an indication of how we're feeling internally. And the beauty of the practice is that it's a two-way street. That bridge goes both ways. As what we try to learn in our yoga practice is as we control our breath, that can control the emotions that we're feeling inside, control our sensations, and controls how we respond to a situation rather than simply reacting. We've heard that many times. Just take a deep breath and things will feel better. And that really is true. It's a lesson from yoga that really has come into common practice. Take a breath, take a beat, but we use that practice, we use the breathing as a practice, as a tool in our yoga practice as we come across maybe a pose that we find challenging or holding a pose for an extended period of time that we find challenging. We just come back to the breath and let that sink in, tell the body we're okay, we're safe, we're in control of our breath, we're in control of our situation. Bring your knees back up towards center. We'll do one quick supine pigeon pose. Bring the right shin again across the thigh like we did in our figure four. So the right leg is across the left thigh. And scoot that left foot a little bit to the right and then let the knee open up, let the knees fall over to the left-hand side for a little bit of a spinal twist. If this figure four twist isn't comfortable for you, simply release the figure four and you can just simply stack the knees one on top of the other. Knees are over to the left. And if it doesn't hurt your neck, go ahead and look over towards the right to complete the twist. So by keeping the knees into the figure four position while we're doing the twist, we're kind of doing two poses at once. We're not only doing the supine pigeon, but we're also getting the spinal twist in. Inhale, bring both knees up, both feet to the mat. Take it on the other side. Guide the left shin across the right thigh. Get into the supine pigeon pose. Let the right foot come over to the left just for a couple inches. Just helps the twist. And then the feet fall over to the right-hand side. Arms out to a T. Look over the left shoulder. Again, if this doesn't work for you, you can release the figure four and just stack the knees. Or whatever spinal twist might be your favorite, something calling out to you today. Continue to breathe. A little harder to breathe into the spinal twist, it's part of the challenge. Find that place where we're comfortable, strengthening the muscles of the whole breathing apparatus in the chest, the diaphragm, intercostals. Inhale both knees back up. Bring your knees into your chest. Extend your legs up. Grab the outside edges of the feet. Bring the knees in towards the shoulders for a happy baby. So the variation of this, you extend the legs long. Grab hold of the big toes. Release the legs up towards the sky for a candlestick. Then when you're ready, any other poses you might need, all that's left is for us to take our final rest. And when you're ready for your final rest, extend your legs long out to the corners of the mat. Let your feet flop open, arms alongside your body, palms facing up, coming to a sign of receiving, ready to receive your rest, your final savasana. Yogis, begin to deepen your breath, still lying still, finding that deep breath in through the nose, cleansing breath out of the mouth. Big breath in through the nose again, cleansing, release, exhale out of the mouth. Begin to bring gentle movements into the body. Maybe it's brushing your thumb across your fingers, wiggling the toes, circling the wrists, circling the feet at the ankles, building the breath, feeling the body rejuvenated, re-energized by your practice and the rest you just took. Inhale your arms overhead, stretch yourself nice and long, fingers and toes reaching as far away from each other as you can. Exhale, bring your knees into your chest, wrap your arms around your shins, feel that touch as your arms wrap around the shins, rock side to side. Lifting the shoulders off the mat into a little ball. Cross your ankles, roll forward to a seated position. Closing our practice in a seated meditation where we began. Eyes can remain closed. Hands come together, heart center. And feel our thumbs against our breastbone, feeling our heart beat, feeling the chest expand with the life-giving breath. May we be happy, may we be free. May all beings be happy, may all beings be free. May we feel love and give love. May all beings feel love and give love. The light, the love, the teacher and student in me bows to the light, the love, the teacher and student in each one of you. We bow our heads together and we say namaste. Thank you for practicing with me today. Again, my name was Bob. Have a wonderful day. I look forward to seeing you again soon.